Hello friend, this is Wendy with LUVIN Stampin'. Today we are going to make a card using some Honeybee Stamps products. This is the Pine and Berry stamp set and dies. My friend Kelly Taylor actually illustrated these, which is one of the reasons why I bought them. I also think they're really cute. So this stamp set, from the time I saw it, I knew I wanted to make a shape card. And then this is just a beautiful sentiment stamp set. I will link to all of the products, but just so there's a clear understanding, a lot of the products I link to, I am not an affiliate of. I just link to the store so that you can easily find them to purchase them. But I'm not an affiliate. I am an affiliate with the Misty or My Sweet Petunia, and that has been approved by Stampin' Up. So if you are in the market for a Misty or stamp positioning tool or a product that Misty sells, you can use my links, and I do get a small percentage when you do that. It doesn't cost you any more money though. So you may see here the sun is coming in on my hands. It was getting later in the day when I recorded this video, and so you're just gonna see some changes over the course of the video in the lighting. And here I'm using a Hero Arts Intensified black ink pad to stamp this lantern. And then we are going to die cut it out. I turned the camera on, started recording, and started creating. I did not pre-plan this. I didn't come up with how I was going to do everything before I started. I just went for it. And so you'll probably see a little bit of disorganization in how I do things, just because I would do something and think, oh, I should do this, or oh, wait, I should do that. And so the video might seem a little disorganized. Most of the time when I'm creating for you, I have either carefully thought out my plan and written it out, sketched it out, or somehow or even made it first. Lots of times when I'm doing my fun fold cards, I will make the project first and then I will make it for you so that I can make sure I really know what I'm doing. I did not do that with this project because I pretty much knew what I wanted to do, and then I just hoped and prayed that it was all going to come together like I wanted it to. So for this card, I die cut the lantern, and I'm going to die cut the candles, and then I'm going to end up stamping and die cutting some floral pieces to go on it, and we're going to make this a shape card. But in order to do that, I need to have like the card front whole. I'm going to show you here. So I cut a piece of cardstock at 4 1/4 by 11, folded it in half to make an A2 size card. So I scored it at 5 1/2. I'm burnishing the edge with my bone folder, and then I'm going to take my lantern, die cut, and I'm going to cut with the little lip of the top of this die cut, or die, sorry, hanging off the top edge so that the edge that's folded will not get cut. So here you can see what I'm talking about. I'll open this up, and you'll be able to see that this now is a shape card. Very carefully held together. Then I will take this piece and put it over the top, and it will cover up that weird little spot at the top where I've cut off the die, if you see what I'm saying, the die cut, I guess, because that's where my fold is. So before I go any further, I'm going to use my sticky mat from Altenew and a blender brush, and I am going to break out a distress ink. I'm using Tim Holtz Squeezed Lemonade, and if you watched my video a couple weeks or a week ago, buying distress inks is something I never thought I would do, because I remember I got one a long time ago and I stamped with it. It was a solid image stamp, and I inked it up and stamped with it. And I'll be honest, I wasn't that impressed with the image. I was like, ooh, this ink didn't go down very well. Well, I've since learned, and that is what is part of the fun of a creative process, is you learn so many cool, fun things. So one of the things I learned also by watching other people's videos is that I've never seen anybody stamp solid images with distress ink. They use them for ink blending, water reactive techniques, things like that. Here I'm using my Misty grid paper to color on top of. I love this Misty grid paper. It's 8x10. It's perfect for my work surface, perfect for videos like this where I need to color in the video. And because it's nice and small, it's not giant. And so if you want to grab some of this grid paper, I will link to it, and you can grab some at My Sweet Petunia as well. It also fits inside the big Misty. So, and I do have small, teeny tiny grid paper for the mini Misty as well. So if you want grid paper to go in your Misty because of the kind of project you're doing, it will work inside there as well. Here I'm going to use my precision glue press to glue my vellum down to my lantern. And my precision glue press is one of my favorite tools in my craft room. It is amazing. So here I'm just gluing getting the glue all over all the pieces and parts, and then I'll glue my vellum to that. Through the vellum, you will be able to see the yellow glow of the ink blending that I just did. If I had this card to do over, I would not have done vellum. I would have gone with acetate. The vellum dimmed the ink blending and the sequins too much. So it's not a bad thing. It's just not what I wanted. I really wanted the sequins that I put in there to be seen better, and they weren't. So at the end of the day, it's fine. It came out how it came out. But I'm just saying, if I could rewind and do it over, I would have done acetate versus vellum. So here I'm going to use foam strips to go all around the edges here and create like a wall, I guess you could say, for my sequins, and for this to pop up nice and even on my card front. I am using sequins from Pretty Pink Posh. These are little tiny clear shimmery sequins that I just love. I think they're so beautiful. And again, you end up not seeing them. So I kind of felt like it was, in the end, it ended up being a waste, which is kind of heartbreaking. But you know, you live and you learn. You do things, and that's part of the creative process. Sometimes things don't work out the way you want them to, and that's okay. So here I'm pulling all the adhesive backing off, and then I'm going to place that die cut card shape on top of my built up sequin window, and then the front of this card will be put together except for finishing the decorating. And I was very careful about not smashing this down super tight until I was sure of how it was going to all come together. So you can kind of see the sequins in there, but not really. So sort of a bummer. Or the other thing I could have done is use like red and green sequins. So it would have been like this glittery, shimmery green and red peeking through, but I didn't do that. So, you know, like I said, it is what it is. We live and we learn. So for these candles, I wanted them to appear as white. And I've been taught by different colorists that you always have to have shadows when you want something to be white. You can't just leave it stark white because it just doesn't look right. So here I went in and added some shadows, and at first it looks like I have gray candles. But after I put this whole thing together, you will see these really do just appear white with great shading or see? You put it on here and it's like, oh yeah, they're white candles. It's really weird. It's just what our eyeballs does. So these candles are made to fit inside the lantern, which I think is really cute. And then I'm going to stamp and die cut some foliage. Why is it hard to talk sometimes? And then I'm going to add them to the front of this. So we're going to do a couple holly berries, and we're going to do it's not really a swag, but it kind of looks like a swag for the top. So we're going to color those and get it all on there. Okay, so in my last video, I'm pretty sure I said it was my last video before Christmas, and I lied because this is my last video before Christmas. So I thought we would have a little bit of story time while I went on my way decorating and coloring and getting this card completely finished, because story time around here seems to be hit and miss. Sometimes we have long videos where we can have story time and sometimes we don't. So let me share with you what one of my Christmas traditions is. And I would love to hear in the comments one of your Christmas traditions with friends. So let me be specific to that. Not just because I've asked you guys before, what are your favorite Christmas traditions? And you've shared it with me. But this is specific to friends. So I have two really good girlfriends, Laura and Milena. And Laura and Milena have been in my life for 20-ish plus years. I met them when I started working at a company called LUVIN, and we were all analysts. And we all got hired right around the same time, within a week or two of each other. And we just became friends, and we would go to lunch together. We would go on walks together. We're all close in the same age. I am the youngest. I would just like to say that because, I like to rub it in their faces. Not that they'll ever watch this video, because my girls don't watch my videos. But, yeah, they are amazing. So we're all in our 40s. And we have been hanging out doing stuff for years. So I don't know how long ago it was, but a few years ago, we started a tradition of doing something together at Christmas time. So Laura always hosts a Christmas party, and it's usually the weekend before Christmas. And one year we got together and did gingerbread houses. Just the prefab kits. I mean, come on, people. Nobody's cooking gingerbread and making houses from scratch. And then one year we got together with her mom, Milena's mom, and I actually did a video on that and shared. We made košnica. I think I'm saying that right. If you're Serbian, I'm very sorry if I just butchered the name of that dessert. But that was super fun. We have gone down to the Fab 40s to look at nights, my good Lord, look at lights, Christmas lights. We've done all kinds of stuff, just random over the years, different things. And this year, Milena messaged us and said, why don't we go see the Nutcracker ballet? And at first I was like, girl, I don't want to spend the money on that because I've never done it and it's a lot of money and it's Christmas time, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, come on, just fine, I'll pay for you. And I was like, no, that's definitely not happening. So I was like, all right, fine. We need to do something for Christmas. We haven't gotten together in a couple months. Let's do it. So we went to the Nutcracker Ballet in downtown Sacramento. Now, let me explain something to you. I have no more dress clothes. So in 2008, when I had my daughter, I left corporate America. I quit working in a corporate job. I came home to stay home with my daughter. In 2010, I found Stampin' Up! And I started a Stampin' Up! Business. So I don't have business casual dress up clothes. I just don't. And to be totally honest, I absolutely loathe shopping for clothes. I hate it. I'm 5'3", probably 5'2", let's be honest. And I have a very pear shape. So I have a big rear end and I'm smaller at the top, and it's just hard for me to find clothes. Let's go back to the card really quick. I wanted these holly berries and leaves at the bottom to kind of give a little bit. I wanted it to push those candles back a little more into the lantern. And then, of course, I wanted the beautiful swag at the top. I cannot tell you how much I love this card. I love everything about it. I love the colors. I just love everything. And I even love the sentiment I chose for it. So you'll see that here in a minute. But back to story time. So bottom line is, friends, I just don't have a wardrobe fit for going to a ballet, period. So I say to these girls, okay, I'm going to go to the Nordstrom Rack, which is, I don't know if they have that everywhere, but it's kind of like the discontinued older Nordstrom stuff. So the quality of the clothes is still really nice, but it's less expensive than Nordstrom. So I told him I'm going to go to the Nordstrom Rack. I have to go to Costco. So I'm going to go to Nordstrom Rack and I'm going to see what I can find. Pray for me. Also, stay by your phone so that if I need help with outfits, I can text you. So I go, I shop. I'm there for over an hour. I finally find a pair of slacks that didn't look totally hideous. I found a super cute pair of high heels, and I found a pea coat, like a really nice classic pea coat that I feel like I could wear anytime I went anywhere. And because it's a coat, I felt like the investment was worthwhile. It was not cheap, but I was like, well, anytime I need to kind of get dressed up, I can wear this coat. It's good to have one in your closet. It's also good to have like one black dress, one pair of black slacks in your closet for events such as this. So I get the outfit, I text them, and I'm going to tell you, first, I'm just going to censor the real word I used, but I literally text them and said, I found some SH word. To which Laura responds, that's the spirit. Because they just know how much I hate this. So both of them are much more cultured than I am. Laura is married to somebody from Bosnia. She travels all over Europe. She loves musicals. She loves culture. I love culture too, but like, I don't know. I just haven't been exposed to a lot of that kind of stuff because I grew up in the country. We didn't have a lot, although Laura did too. But when Laura turned 18, she moved out of where she lived and chose to go live in California from Ohio. And she just experienced life. And I just have always been a country girl who didn't do much. So one of my favorite things about these ladies is that they pull me out of my comfort zone all of the time. They encourage me to do things that I would have never done myself. Like I never would have gone to the Nutcracker ever. I am so glad I went because it was beautiful, beautiful. We had a wonderful time and it was gorgeous. Also, BTW, I had no idea how many songs are in the Nutcracker that we hear at Christmas all of the time. Like there's a song in Home Alone, the movie Home Alone, that is from the Nutcracker. And I had no clue. I didn't know. So anyway, it was really fun. We went. The shoes almost broke my feet. I'm pretty sure I have a bunion that I didn't know I had because the shoes were like rubbing right on that spot. So they had to, so after I'm going to run out of time. Okay, so after the Nutcracker, these are the funny parts. I'm like, y'all, I can't walk. Like, I cannot walk another step in these shoes. I'm going to die. So they went and got the car. Because mind you, we're in downtown Sacramento. So it's not like you can just park right outside the theater. You have to go park in a parking garage. So they go get the car for me. While I'm waiting for the car, I'm leaning up against a bike rail, trying to relieve my feet. This man walks up and starts whistling at me. He's a homeless fella. God love him. And then starts asking me if I have anywhere he can stay tonight. I just ignored him. I kept my head down and did my Facebook because here's the thing, people. I am also a timid country girl when it comes to stuff like that. I get very nervous in those types of situations because he was getting closer and closer to me, and I'm just not sure what people, there are a lot of mentally ill people or people who have a lot of struggles with drugs and alcohol that are homeless or home challenged, whatever the politically correct term is. I have always tried to do my best by anybody that is in that situation. Like my daughter and I used to give out blessing bags to those that were homeless and stuff like that. So in no way do I want this to sound like a judgment. I'm not judging the man. I'm just saying I was a little bit concerned for my safety because I don't know. I was by myself. I was standing there on the corner and I didn't know what he might be capable of or not. So I just ignored him and kept my head down, and he eventually walked away, but it scared me to death. So, they roll up in the car and get me. And right when they were coming around the corner is when he was talking to me. And I was like, oh my gosh, did you guys see that? Like, I didn't know what to do. And Milena saw it, but Laura didn't. And so they were like, we need to get you home. You've had enough of the city. I was like, yes, I have had enough of the city. So we leave. So when we get back to the house, this is the funniest part of the whole story. We get back to Laura's house and the three of us are standing around. Potty breaks, because remember, we're in our 40s. So everybody goes to the bathroom. We're standing around kind of talking a little bit before we get ready to leave. And Milena admits that she started to doze off more than once during the show. I burst into laughter. I was like, oh my gosh, I did too. I almost fell asleep twice. And I was like, they will never take me anywhere again if I fall asleep. Laura starts laughing and says, girl, I almost fell asleep also. You can't take us anywhere. That was my favorite part of the whole night. Finding out that we all almost fell asleep during the Nutcracker because it was warm, the music was soothing and beautiful, and it just was comfortable. And so here is the finished card and the story of going to the Nutcracker. I hope you guys enjoyed this card. I will put all the links to the supplies that I used, affiliates and not, over on my blog. There's a link below this video titled Measurements and Supplies. You can click that link and it'll take you to my blog. If you want to shop Stampin' Up! Products, you can shop with me at shoplovinstampin.com. And if there's anything else I can help you with, I'm happy to help. I'm here. Comment below and let me know what your favorite friend tradition is to do with your friends during the holidays. Talk to you soon. Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.